And so, Gabriel, thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you.
And cut.
Oh, what do you call him? Next week will be free. I was thinking of linking you up with the person that does black magic.
Okay. Wow, next week. I love to late, bro, but next week we are fully booked, so no more slots.
I mean, that's a good problem. So maybe see whether you're free to meet just for lunch next week.
Definitely.
But by the way, Colin, sorry, I need to leave already.
Okay.
So you take care, alright?
Alright.
Okay, see you.
Thanks so
Take
much.
care.
So have you encountered such a scenario before, like a friend, even someone you have just met on Facebook or Instagram, is so overly hospitable, in wanting to help you until he inconveniences himself? It's even somewhat scary to the fact that you don't know if he has an ulterior motive or not. Like sell you MLM the moment he meets you. But Gabriel, my friend there, he isn't like that. In fact, he's pretty unique entrepreneur by today's standard. And this is his story. So, Gabriel was our client from a few years ago. We haven't met up since the start of the pandemic. But just a few weeks ago, right, he asked for a catch-up. So during that meetup, I really got to know more about his whole story. And so, wanting to know even more, I asked for another follow-up session with him. So you really run a lot of businesses, right? I mean, today you're heading a commercial ID firm, which we have done some videos with you before.
Yes, about 2 years back, I remember.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you are operating a restaurant, and now you've started a custom jeans business.
Yeah, man.
I mean, wow, how do you find the time to do so many things?
Time is never enough for everyone, and I think it's all about being macro to focus on the right things. And the most important actually is to find the right people actually to partner with, and so that you can actually make things work together.
I haven't really met one person who emphasizes as much on relationship building, network connecting, and also in Chinese we call it 义气, or like Brotherhood Code, as you do. But I think more on that later. But first, it didn't start with OPS Enterprise at first, right?
No. So my friend actually suggested for me to learn under someone. So I went to a company and I learned. Then from there, within I think about 6 months, I actually started on my own, but I partnered with a builder. Thereafter to be with a carpenter. So the journey was quite interesting. Yeah, and today is OPS Enterprise. So there was a couple of partnerships that happened in between.
Okay, so how about your other businesses, the F&B business, as well as your custom jean business?
So what happened is we were looking for opportunities. Happened to have a friend, about 20 years friend, so he invested, and that's how I would say the company was called Ipo Zicha. So he started a Zicha store.
I see.
But thereafter, I think 2 months later, he had some personal issues that he can't continue. So we were out looking for a chef, and I got a very good chef that really can whip up really interesting dishes, because he's well known in a country club as well as a very big seafood restaurant.
Oh.
But he's a bit too expensive for just a Zicha store. So we opened a restaurant which is gave birth to Ma Song Sik at Chai Chi. So that's how it came about. And to today's Hong Kong Cantonese food.
Talk a little bit about Urban Dappers. That's your custom jeans business, right?
So UD, or we call it UDJ, started whereby also during the COVID period. So and we found this other common friend of ours who actually just recently closed his tailor shop because of COVID. So we discussed with him, he's willing to teach us. Yeah, so that's how Urban Dappers was born.
I see.
So interestingly, after 8 to 9 months, COVID did not go away.
Okay.
Yeah, so all the jackets and shirts was not moving at all. My partner decided to say that, hey, Gabriel, I need to move on. Months after that, I found this other colleague of mine, Maxwell. So he actually decided to come on board and say, hey, I will come on board only if we enter this space that nobody was touching, which is customized jeans. So
I see.
Yes, so we are the first and only as of now that customized jeans in the whole of Singapore.
So with 3 businesses operating concurrent today, right? What is your formula for running them?
I would say mainly 3 things. All right, self-responsibility, teamwork as well as mutual respect. So for mutual respect, in our whole company, there's no seniority or junior. So all of us are colleagues. We call each other colleagues. Of course, secondly, about self-responsibility, meaning that if you're given a task based on deadline, by hook or by crook, you must complete it. So when during downtimes, you have to just do self-learning, self-upgrading by being courses or even go online to research. And of course, lastly will be teamwork. Yeah, so with this teamwork thing, I can only think of one story that I had. We were actually renovating for quite a big F&B chain establishment. And those who we got for installation couldn't make it in time because of the logistics. And COVID. So what happens is we actually got together, both not just our project management team, our designers, and even the UDJ side. All of us came together, go on site. We installed the whole office system ratio for about 30 over packs. And we completed. So I think this spells a lot about the whole culture of teamwork.
I really want to drill into this, Brotherhood Code thing that you operate on. Is it what you base on to, conduct your businesses?
Yeah, I think it's very important that everybody is based on relationship. And relationship, a good relationship is hard to come by. So it's not about me and you having a dinner, you have business tomorrow. It takes time to understand each other and to really know whether you and I can do the business that I want to recommend to you. And even I put a lot of my time to build relationship with everybody.
So relationship building, it is sort of really, connected to this Brotherhood Code that we are talking about also. Yeah.
Yes, in fact, you're right, because when you meet, when you have agenda, you definitely catch up on knowing what you're doing, everything apart from all the small, simple talk. And more importantly, it's relationship building. So I also want to sense, are you good in this area? So during the talk, I also want to fish out which industry you're good in. Then I know how to actually better to think of who to refer to you, because I also don't want to burn my relationship with my friends.
Of course.
To anyhow refer to you.
Yeah. In fact, the dinner that we had a few weeks ago, there was no agenda.
Yes.
But just look at this video. I mean, we didn't think about it, but it just led to this happening.
Yes, in fact, you are talking about this also. I remember that you had a post on Blackmagic about a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah, so I also got a friend that actually does Blackmagic cameras and all the setup. I think it would be cool that I can link him up to you.
Wonderful. Anyway, Gabriel, thank you so much for your time again for this chat. Really learned so much from you.
Thank you.